might get interesting.
Yeah.
That shit might get
bring it out.
interesting.
I haven't done that in a long time.
Few more victories.
We are live. All right, cool. Welcome, everybody, to another episode of the Tangent Podcast, episode 165 for the week of May 7th, 2018. I am your host, Brian Thomas, alongside Uncle Muscles himself, Peter Stone, the Beacon of Light, Anthony Salvatore,
What's going on?
the Contender, Kharl Pierre,
What's going on?
and God Mike back there, Steven Sal.
Hello.
And with us, podcast for the site pixelatedpoints.com, where we talk about the games that we've been playing during the week and a little segment we like to call Under Your Thumb. We take a quick break and come right back with the drunken news. Apparently, it's going to get sloppy because Uncle Muscles over here is drinking 9.5% alcohol.
It's my regular. It's my favorite. Yeah.
So maybe his tolerance is higher than mine
A little bit.
because I am drinking Blue Moons.
You have a little bit of catching up to do.
So apparently I have some catching up to do.
Come on, children.
Let's go, boy.
Boy!
And we've all played God of War. And we're going to get into Under Your Thumb this week and talk about God of War. We're also going to be talking a little bit about Fortnite versus PUBG, and then probably finish off with Witcher. So
Spoilers, Brian.
Well,
Spoilers.
spoilers, yeah. You're in it for the long haul, so just stick around. We're here for the laughs. We're here for the good conversations, and hopefully, you're drinking as well.
Should be if you're watching it.
Friday, come on.
It's Friday. If you're not out doing something, you should definitely be watching us on live.
Or you're saving up for tomorrow.
Hey, you should be out doing something watching us live.
You could be doing both. I mean, you
tomorrow.
can watch us
Cinco
live on your
de Mayo.
phone at
Those is also Cinco de Mayo.
twitch.tv/PXLPTS. But let's talk about God of War. So 3 out of the 4 of us have played
This week.
this week.
I played earlier this evening.
So I was playing actually before we started recording.
I had to get my fix in.
Yeah, just after work,
Fuck.
get home, played it. So Kharl, you've beaten it.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah, Kharl's in there. Kharl's way deep in there.
Probably
He's-
no side questing.
Oh no, I do all the side quests.
What?
Holy shit.
Oh, yeah.
Hours. Jesus.
I have no life.
Okay,
play
that
video
explains it then.
That helps. So Kharl, you've beaten the game without spoiling anything, because we're not going to do spoilers this week. We're going to talk about things and tiptoe around stuff.
Cryptic.
But Kharl, can you give us a little bit of you give us some sort of review on the game? You don't have to, go into crazy detail, but how are you liking it?
I love it, to be honest. I like how it's a personal story about Kratos. I mean, I haven't played any of the previous God of Wars, but I understand it's just like about this guy who's like mad, right? Essentially,
That's not wrong. That's not wrong. He's just pissed off about anything.
Resting bitch face.
and like in this one, it's just like it's a story about him evolving from what he used to be into like this father figure for his kid. Essentially, it's like, and the payoff at the end is like it's great.
Okay.
And it's a great game overall. I don't like. You've seen the reviews.
Yeah, I mean, you've seen the reviews. If you're watching
It's
it,
not a Kyle review, though. I need a Kyle.
that was kind of a Kharl review. So I agree with you. I think that the character has developed throughout. Well, you can even tell. Yeah, he's in retirement.
Yeah.
He's in retirement.
It was
God
retirement
never
beard.
retires.
Everything,
Yeah, he's got a sweet beard, and you can tell from the beginning of the game where he starts off as this grumpy old curmudgeon of a character, and he's slowly progressing into this father-like figure, like you said.
Right.
He has these conversations with Atreus, his son, throughout the entire game, and it seems like almost everything that he says to Atreus has. It's not foreshadowing, at least not for me, because you might know a little bit more than I do, but it's not foreshadowing anything. It always does kind of tie in later in the game, but it's not really foreshadowing it, if that makes any sense.
Right.
But I think that the story between the two generally is pretty good. I would say there are moments where, without spoiling it, I would say Atreus has his moment, let's just say, that at one point I was very annoyed.
Damn.
To the point where I was just like, get this fucking kid off.
Where Kratos was in
Timeout.
Kratos was in the right, I assume.
I'm just, you know
Kratos
what?
is always right.
You'll get there. You'll get there when you get there,
Kratos.
Anthony.
Eventually.
But I remember you compared it to what, a Joel and
Yeah, it has a
Joel and
very
Ellie.
much like a
Yeah.
Joel and Ellie type of feel to it. Have you played Last of Us?
Yeah.
Okay,
I did.
all right, good. Carl?
I didn't play it.
All right, well,
I know what happens to the story. I just never got around to playing it.
fair
you know?
enough. Okay, but
You don't really play that game. You watch it.
It's a good watch.
it is a good watch, too.
I watched it and then I played it because I had a roommate who had a PS4, and so I bought it and took advantage of the access.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you
And
go.
then sold it to somebody at work.
Nice.
with his PS4.
Yep. He stole his PS4 and sold it.
Classic.
Oh, well,
That's why
Classic
he's no
muscles
longer a
move right
roommate.
there.
Yeah.
Is that the muscles thing?
now I have my own PS4. I bought
Yeah.
the whole thing.
Very nice. You got the
Pro.
both of these guys have the God of War Pro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you both bought the
Yeah,
bundle.
dude. Yeah.
Bundle, yeah. $400, and then I got the protection plan, so it was another 50 something.
I don't go for
Why?
the protection
Holy
plan.
shit.
That's a vacuum.
My roommate has a cat, and the thing's a terror. I'm taking no chances.
Yeah. Cats are the worst.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm a dog guy through and through. I don't
Yeah.
mind. I don't mind cats, but like they're kind
cats
of
suck.
they're kind of.
You can leave a cat alone without having.
Yeah,
to,
but they're kind of dicks.
They
though.
are, though.
cats are. But
Cats suck.
But let's get back to God of War.
Yes. Not cats.
Not cats. Let's talk about the combat. So, is anyone? I know Anthony's a Dark Souls guy, right?
yeah, correct.
And this is not Dark Souls, but it's not the typical God of War hack and slash kind of third person. I guess button masher, if you
Right.
will.
Yeah.
This is more deliberate. You have to be paying attention to what you're doing, and I know I said this last week, but the game continues to make you change up your combat style because of the different enemies that you find. So you'll find
it does.
flying enemies that are quite annoying that can blind you.
I hate those guys.
The nightmares. Yeah.
It's not even the nightmares,
Not
man.
even the nightmares. The ones with the spears.
Yes.
Yes.
And wings.
And wings.
That's how they fly.
Yeah.
do fly.
They're the worst. Those things.
Sure, that helps.
Those things do suck. I mean, I guess it's not spoilers, really. They're the Dark Elves. That's not a spoiler.
It's not. No.
You know,
No.
I don't give a shit. You can
No, I know. I'm not worried about you, Mister. I don't play a
it's
brand
been-
new game.
it's
I'm
been
talking
1
about
month.
the listener. But yeah, like so the game continuously evolves and it continuously makes you change the way that you're playing or you're combating these different enemies. And the one negative thing I'll say about the combat is that I feel like the enemies are so similar in a lot of ways. So you have your typical, your run-of-the-mill, I don't even know what they're called, drags or drogs?
Drags.
Right?
Draugr.
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 They're also in Witcher.
Yeah,
Also,
They're in
it's a
Witcher
general.
2 for sure. I know
Oh,
that.
yeah, yes.
But so there are these things and then there's armored ones, and then from there, there's not really there's like frost ones, and then
Yeah, and there's
they
Poison
have
ones,
poison
fire
ones.
ones, like
There's
different
light types,
variations.
there's heavy types, and they have different weapons. And,
Yeah, so there's a light enemy, a
Range.
heavy enemy, but then there's also like, there's like monkeys, and then there's trolls. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And I was hoping for a little bit more variety from these different types.
Yeah.
Because I'm fine with like, okay, you have your normal monkey, and then the secondary monkey has. And I guess it's an ape. It's not really a monkey. It's like a giant silverback. And he has like
like, what the
more
fuck is-
fire
Like a
elemental.
troll, right?
The ogres.
The ogres are the
you
ones
can-
that have the
you
giant.
jump on their head
the ogre.
when you stun them.
I'm just thinking of the
boss ones?
There's like apes, and then
big
there's the
ones.
giant like ogres that have the column.
Right.
Oh, yeah. Those are trolls. Yeah.
Okay.
No, the trolls aren't the ones to the column. Okay.
Is it so the ogre is the
Either way, it doesn't matter.
Two different kind of
but
big enemies.
what I'm
You got
talking
it.
about
That's
is
what I call them.
they all act the same way. You know what I mean? Like those,
Yeah,
I
they
would have
do.
liked a little bit more variety between the ice troll and the fire troll. You know what I mean? They're still just using the same column attacks.
Right. Just different
Every time you
elements.
defeat them, it's the same animation.
Yeah, the
as well.
executions get a little repetitive.
Yeah, I would have loved to seen more executions, especially when you stun people, because the game encourages you to play differently. So when you stun like just a normal Draugr, right, and you grab him, what is the motion? He punches him, throws him on the ground, stomps his face.
Yeah.
And then there's no other ones for that enemy type.
Well, there are. You want to know how to do it?
Sure.
Oh, yeah.
You hold down R2 for the executioners. you see
Oh,
him shake
yeah.
it up.
Well, I've done
That's
that.
an execution as well.
Okay,
But they
yeah.
got to be low health, or else it won't even kill them. You
Yeah.
kind of just hit them and kick them away.
Yeah. So I'm thinking of more like when you click
R3.
It's a
R3.
guaranteed kill.
Yeah.
Pretty much. Well, there are some R3 ones that don't actually kill them. Like if you get
Yeah.
the stun meter all the way up,
And then it
just
won't
does
kill
one
them.
significant damage.
I have
Yeah.
seen him like pick somebody up and run them into a wall.
yeah, those are the heavy drogger. The ones with
Okay,
the big
that's what he'll
axes.
do. He'll
Yeah.
like pick them up and like run them into a wall.
Yeah. That messes up a little sometimes. So you can run into a wall.
Yeah,
for
and
a
just
long time,
continuously
and you're
run.
Just like this, like you're on a treadmill.
Yeah, and yeah,
But you
that's
gotta find a cliff to throw them off of.
Oh yeah,
That's a quick.
I
execution right
find
there.
that's the way to get rid of a lot of those smaller enemies. What are the nightmares?
Yeah.
So like I grab them, throw them.
Yep. Yeah, and throw them. You do a quick aim and throw them into somebody else.
Yeah,
Yeah.
which is super helpful because then they explode and do damage there.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, like I think the combat is extremely. It's refreshing for me
Yeah.
because one, I'm not a Dark Souls guy.
There's a lot of different moves, and there's
Yeah.
a lot of things in there that they don't really tell you. You kind of got to figure it out on your own.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there is like at the beginning, I feel like it can be very overwhelming because because you can be barehanded.
Yeah.
It's my favorite.
Barehand is pretty awesome. And with that, you kind of use the shield as well as an attack. You're
love
kind
that
of like
shield.
being a slightly Captain America style.
Yeah.
And then you have the axe, the Leviathan axe.
Yeah.
And so you can then use light and heavy attacks and do combos. But then you can also like put that away and just switch into your barehanded combat. So there's lots of different ways to tackle, I would say, the combat, which I think is great.
Here's one thing. Some of the fights, the harder fights, little mini bosses here and there, require you to use the Leviathan axe because you need to throw it for certain mechanics to counter certain things.
Yeah.
So you're kind of tied down as far as that's concerned to the Leviathan axe.
It's that
Yeah.
one type of combat that you have to.
Yeah, like you got to use that.
Yeah, there's lots of because like you said, like you prefer to go barehanded. So when you're in that barehanded state, like some of the enemies you can't attack, you have to use the Leviathan.
Yeah,
axe.
like soul eaters or the big elementals when their chest opens up. You
Yeah.
gotta throw the
Yeah,
axe.
yeah.
It's the
Okay.
only way to beat them, or
I
else
see.
they're immune to every other damage.
Yeah.
That's right. You're right. You're forcing that mechanic.
yeah.
Or like if anything flies up in the air to do some like
You kind of have to. Yeah.
unavoidable attack, you gotta throw the axe at them to knock them out of the air.
You also have a boy to shoot arrows.
Also true.
Yeah,
Correct.
Which I just use. I'm straight using electric arrow or shock arrows.
Yeah, me too.
I don't
'Cause of
ever
the
use
chain.
Yeah,
lightning
it's
on
super
it, yeah.
helpful. Also, for,
Your boy.
yeah, your boy. Also, with the Leviathan axe, we talked about this last week, but you can upgrade your axe and your weapons. You can upgrade it, which then unlocks new skill tree slots
Or set moves.
or like
Moves,
special
yeah.
moves and things like that. So.
Upgrade the boy.
You can also, I found that to be extraordinarily helpful, is
Yeah.
to upgrade him
Because
first.
it increases his damage.
At first, I wasn't even upgrading him. I was just going
Yeah.
after crit. I don't need him.
Yeah, see, I'm with Kharl on this one.
No, I'm
It's
t-
fucking.
Well, his
Good
are
luck.
cheaper.
But
He's
later
sharp as
on,
shit.
yeah, he's a cheaper.
Yeah.
But like
Is he?
later on, you're like, oh wow, these guys are like wrecking me. I need to stun them. I'm like, let me upgrade each first.
But when I
you know?
realized he could die, like they can
Well-
grab him and stop. Like
Yeah, he gets like
yeah, he's stunned. Yeah,
It-
yeah, yeah.
So he's out for like 5 or 10
So then I was like
seconds.
one of those deals. Like, do I have to? Should I protect him or just let him kind of like fend for himself?
Oh, I just let him fend for
So,
himself.
yeah.
He's
Wow.
he's good to
You
go.
guys are horrible fathers.
So I know that
Kratos is
Kharl,
already-
Kharl is giving him the blue garb, which is health. So if you give him you upgrade his armor to, it could be yellow, red, or blue. Yellow is a sharpshooter, red is a melee, and blue is like healing. And that I just go straight blue.
I'm using the red.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna switch to the sharpshooter though, because I'm jamming square all the time.
Okay.
Yeah, because it refreshes so quickly and it's adds so much stun damage.
That,
When you have
like-
them fully upgraded, that if you play with the fists
Yeah.
or any runic attack that adds stun damage, and you just shoot, you stun everything around you.
And then you just do
Oh,
a
wow.
mark.
Yeah.
You know what? So I find when I am overwhelmed with enemies, I have a heavy runic attack that Kratos jumps in the air and slams the axe down and it freezes everybody. I got that like
Early on.
early on,
I
in the
think I have
game,
that
and
one.
I literally have not changed it.
So here's one. I found one that you were gonna want. This thing's awesome. It just adds damage. You just charge.
Oh,
every-
yeah, that's what I'm using.
yeah, and it just adds frost damage to all your attacks, and it's huge. You also minor detail. You expend you. Yeah, you spend. That's the word.
That's the word.
Hi, Golden Monkey. You spend XP to upgrade your runic attacks.
Yeah.
And you also use that for the boy as well. Yeah. I've got the crows on him, and I've got that charge with the
Yep.
attack for the heavy runic on there, and a quick light attack one. Hell's Touch is like the first one you get.
Yeah.
And I just got a new runic focus set.
Okay.
The cooldown on it
Nice.
is 19 seconds, and the cooldown on the heavy though is 89 seconds. But that's down from I think 120,
Which is
something
kind
like that.
of a perfect segue into like the skill set and your
Makes it an RPG.
yeah, it makes it very much like
Yeah.
RPG elements where so you have power, which is obviously like strength, which is obviously how much damage you do. You have runic,
Yeah.
which
I feel
is
like it's the
more-
favorite. The strength is the favorite.
Yeah.
among most people.
runic is more magic stuff, so your
Damage.
frost
Also
damage,
looks
things
the
like
best.
that. You have defense.
You're
you
God.
have luck. You have vitality, which is how much you stumble or and how much health you have. And then there's cooldown, which cooldown allows you to use different types of runic attacks, which are like these special attacks. You're holding the block button and then you're doing light or heavy attack, right?
Yeah, area of effect a lot of the time.
Yeah, you get an area of effect. You can do just straight melee. You can do it's like a line or a wave. So there's lots of different strategies that you can like take and play the game how, or at least in the most part, because sometimes you are forced to do something.
Yeah.
But in for the most part, the combat you can just kind of do whatever you want. Which I find to be it's completely refreshing from the old God of War games. Have you played any?
I have not. I had a roommate in college that played through all of them. He actually, I'm pretty sure he played through them all and without getting hit once.
What?
He also big
The
boss
hack and
rating
slash?
every single. Yeah, he big boss rating every single Metal Gear as well.
Is he a speedrunner or
He's
something?
he's just hardcore.
Wow. Okay. Yeah.
That's also college where you have the time to do shit.
That is true.
Not
if you're
now
in,
in
if you're
our
in,
old
yeah,
age.
if you're in college and watching this,
Pick this
treasure
game up.
every fucking
The
moment.
fucking book up and do some actual work.
Don't
Here's
no.
my message: step it up.
Or get on Twitch.
Yeah, or- yeah.
Be a speedrun.
Yeah. Let us know if you want to do it for us at PXLPTS.
Make real money.
Yeah.
Like Ninja, so it's
Yeah. Ninja's making a lot of money, like $500,000 a month.
Who?
Ninja.
the Fortnite guy.
Who's that?
No idea.
Okay. I know
Yeah.
who he is.
You play Fortnite, you know.
Yeah, I know who he is.
Yeah, he knows who he is. Let's see. What else can we talk about? What do you want to talk about God of War?
I found it kind of easy to play on normal.
Okay.
I
Hardo over here.
No, it's just
I've heard that Give Me God of War, the absolute hardest
Dude, yeah.
one,
It's
is
no,
the
yeah,
way
I've
to
seen,
play.
I've seen the fucking.
I probably should have played it that way, because like I might actually go back and replay it with that setting, because like once you get like certain skills, it's just like no one can stop you.
Is there New Game Plus?
No, there's no new game plus. No,
Okay.
But
watched-
it is important to say that once you beat the game, you can still
Oh, absolutely.
go around to the world and complete all the side quests and find all the treasure maps and things like that.
You kind
as
of
well.
have to do that because there are things like
collectibles.
the point that you're at. There are probably things that you saw that you
Correct.
couldn't get to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's
you have to repeat areas.
yeah, there's kind of it's not like it's kind of like Metroid where you have to backtrack because you unlock new areas.
If you,
out.
it's not story. I'm assuming this is just collectibles you can go back to get
Yeah.
for like side, like
Mhm.
if you
it's
want
all
to.
side
If-
mission
yeah.
stuff.
Yeah. Plus, there are things like runic attacks that are hidden in.
In those areas that
Yeah.
are helpful during the main story, as well as like armor, things like that. You can also find shit.
Yeah, I found that.
Nope, I lost it. I don't know.
I found shit in the wild.
I found it.
Oh, you can find
fun thing,
ravens to destroy.
I found some comedic relief.
Oh yeah.
Dave told me about this, and I went and did it earlier this evening. In the Lake of the Nine, there's kind of an island in the northwestern corner when you're looking at the map. You go up there and you find a runic cooldown ability for the boy, and it releases Ratatoskr, who is like a squirrel, like a god of Norse. He's actually a playable god in Smite.
Okay.
And he's a squirrel, and he pops out and he burrows into the ground and pops up a couple of stones for you.
Oh, like
to
healing
step on.
stones?
Yeah, like it's random.
Okay.
So you'll
Ooh.
get like rage or health. And the first time he said, he like comes out and he insults you. He's like, "Fuck off!"
It just tosses out healing stone. Fuck off.
There was the second time was kind of sad though. He came out and he was like, "Why do you hate me?" And then he pops back down. I was like, "What the fuck?" Middle of combat, you're like a super serious moment, slaughtering things, and this
You just
squirrel
have-
comes
yeah.
out and says, "Hey, fuck you!"
You just got this Rocket Raccoon character just
Yeah.
popping out of nowhere.
Yeah.
The game is actually kind of funny. Like a lot of, I think I told you this earlier today about the vase.
Yeah.
Okay. So, without going into details whatsoever,
Yeah.
but the game has a lot. Well, obviously, clever writing and storytelling. Like that's. I don't think we really need to touch too much upon that because if we do, we're gonna kind of get into spoilers territory, and we don't want to do that. But something that really kind of tickled my funny bone was there's a scene that Kratos picks up a vase, right?
Oh yeah.
He picks up a vase and he drops it, and Atreus is just kind of running around. He's not really paying attention, and he comes back over to Kratos and says like, "Oh, hey, what happened?" He's like, "Oh, I dropped the vase," and Kratos just Atreus looks at him and he goes, I guess that makes sense. You have an unwarranted hatred for pottery." And I started laughing immediately. And my wife went, "What are you laughing at?" And I'm like, the whole game, you're running around smashing pots to find health stones and silver and little upgrade materials. And it's like, throughout the whole game, you're just doing this like...
Every game too.
Yeah,
Right?
and it's just like... And no
All the
one's...
previous ones are YouTube.
No one's ever mentioned it, but
Yeah.
all the previous games, you're
Sounds
just...
like it'd be a good Zelda joke.
Well, exactly,
like
but
a fourth
they've
one.
never...
Well,
And it's not even that good of a joke.
She
no,
makes the joke.
it's a good joke, especially
God.
because...
It's a Deadpool joke.
Yeah, it was just like
Yeah,
perfect. And I was... It's a serious moment. It's a serious
It's a
moment.
bonding moment with the boy.
It's a serious moment, and he drops the vase, and then this comedy, this fucking funny ass joke comes in, and it just changes the mood dramatically. But then you go right back to what you were talking about, and I don't know, it just kind of tickled my fancy a little bit.
You know the guy who does the voice for Kratos?
I don't know his name, but yes,
Christopher Judge.
yes, that's
Have
his
you
name.
ever watched Stargate SG-1, the TV show?
Negative.
Oh, he's a character. He's a main character on the show. Teal'c. He's a big guy.
Like a
Yeah.
big guy or
He's a
like
big-
fat guy?
No,
Nah,
he's
like
he,
big.
Tall,
he was
like-
like a former.
So he's basically Kratos.
lineman.
In
Yeah,
real
Pretty
life.
much, yeah.
he's a huge dude. Yeah,
All right.
Good
and he's
to know.
great on that show. It's one of my favorite shows of all time.
What is it? Stargate SG-1?
Yep, that's the one.
So is it Stargate 1? Is that what SG stands for?
Yes,
It's like
Okay.
ATM machine.
ATM teller machine.
Yeah.
automatic teller
Machine,
machine.
machine.
That's the-
Yeah,
that's the
machine.
acronym.
There's one more like that. I don't know. I can't remember what it is.
Hot water heater.
Anyways,
Got the jokes.
Unreal.
I do have to note that because it is a personal story of Kratos, I feel like the boss fights, maybe on easy, that's what it is. The boss fights were a bit easy. There's not a lot of them.
Die a lot. a
No,
lot.
you really don't. And it's just kind of lacklustered. Is that what? Like I don't want to
for
use
like
that.
the boss fights.
Yeah, it was like a little underwhelming because
Okay.
But it was your first play. Like you said, if going back, had you played on a different... Because you never played God of War before, so you had no idea going in. Like,
What it was going
Yeah.
to be.
Right.
Did you have a PS4 before? You bought the
yeah.
PS4.
Yeah.
I mean, I had a PS4 before. Like,
Did
I
he,
had the
like, bought
regular
this-
one
he
because I like the
upgraded?
design of it.
Okay.
But like I don't know, like even on normal, like some games you struggle with. You know, you don't have to put it on hard to really struggle with it. Some of them, but this one I was just like, it's a boss. I'm supposed to like
At least be
You
like
scared for my
challenged.
life or something. I'm just at full health. I'm like whooping this dude's butt.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, okay, that's it. This is the boss.
I do
okay.
feel I agree with you. I don't think any of the bosses, because I think the one boss that I can think of is the Dark Elf area, right? That one boss was the only boss that like stands out in my mind. There are like boss fights. So in previous God of War games, like let's just say in God of War 3, within the first 15, 20 minutes, you kill Poseidon. Right, so you kill a god. Sorry, if you haven't played God of War 3 that came out in like 2007. Sorry.
Or any of 1, 2, and 3.
Give
He
it 10 years.
kills
It's
the
past
entire
10 years.
crew.
I haven't, so thank you for ruining that.
So you take out Poseidon, and it's this gigantic open area. It's lack of better terms, epic. Because you climb up these titans. You're climbing up Gaia and the other titans, and you get to Poseidon, and you take him out, and you kill him, and then all of the waters in the world rise up or go away. I forget what it was, but there's not really anything. There's no epic set pieces in this. There is, or I should say, as often, because there are some pretty sweet moments in the game. So I don't think this is a spoiler, but one of the gods that you encounter is Baldur. We'll just say that.
That's pretty early.
Yeah, it's pretty early
I
in the
didn't play
game.
3. I only want to play this
No,
one.
in this one.
In this one, you do.
You wouldn't know
Yeah,
who it was,
but
so.
you end
Well,
up.
I don't care.
You find that out pretty quickly.
Yeah, you end up fighting Baldur, and there's certain scenes like one where he grabs Atreus.
He's invulnerable to harm, both magical and physical.
Yes. Very nice. So there's the scene or the round where he grabs Atreus from you. That's pretty amazing. And then the first time that you fight him, so Anthony, you can talk about it.
The first
That fight.
The first fight is amazing. And
Correct.
It
That is-
sets a great tone for the game, and I feel like
I
the
thought you'd be
game-
bigger than this. He looks at him.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
fucking punches him in the house. And then-
Yeah. So the I was expecting that to kind of carry out very similar to how God of War 3 did, where you have almost this gigantic boss battle every couple of hours, I would say. But in this, it's not. And at least for me, there isn't those huge epic moments, and they're kind of few and far between. But they do make it a little bit more special.
Yeah.
But I feel like, especially even in like God of War 1 and 2, you were fighting these giant enemies that were extremely powerful. In this game, it doesn't seem like you're fighting
'Cause that
giant enemies. You're just fighting
one where they were
powerful
what? They were
enemies.
given powers by a god. This one, the trolls are just. I think they're just there, aren't they? Like the
Yeah.
first troll boss, like it doesn't explain like why he's kind of there.
No,
At least not
they
yet.
They just exist. Like
They
yeah.
do say earlier on in the game that, and you get this a lot through like side conversations. So if you're not talking to certain characters, let's just say, because I don't know how far along people are, you're talking to side characters and they explain like, oh, the people here, they left because of, the gods were angry, or the gods have, killed a few people, so a lot of people have packed up their stuff and left. So you're like, this huge open area doesn't have a whole lot of inhabitants. So you're kind of wondering, like, where the fuck is all the other people? And in God of War 3 and ones prior, like, you're going through cities, you're seeing a bunch of people running away, hiding for their, like, scared for their lives and things, but you're not really seeing that in this game.
Norse people a little smarter. Get the fuck away from
Yeah.
where the gods live.
Yeah. So, I don't know. I do feel like the world, it's not empty, but I feel like there should be more people there.
Yeah.
I've seen people once.
Yeah.
There was one moment
Yeah.
where you
Yeah.
see actual people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just this one moment, and then you never really see them
Never.
ever again.
They go down like nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you were fighting people, it would be boring because you would just cut.
Yeah,
through them.
exactly.
Well, I mean, like I was still expecting some sort of like, oh, okay, these people, like maybe there's good people still lying around. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah.
It's
Stuck
not
around.
just people trying to kill you. It's people like, hey, we have this encampment hidden away from people and we're just surviving.
Yeah, there are no mortals
Yeah.
in Midgard.
But to be fair, they're also in the woods. You know, not a lot of people live in the woods.
Snow. It's cold. It's
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
They're
it's-
living on, where it's nice.
Yeah.
You know, where the seas are and stuff. You know?
God ruins your
Atreus
home.
has
right?
no friends.
Yeah.
There's no, school chariot to come by and take him to school. He's homeschooled by Kratos.
But yeah, I mean, I'm enjoying God of War. I'm having a blast with it. I'm sure we'll beat it. You've beaten it already.
Yeah.
I'll probably end up finishing it this weekend or latest mid next week. And you're a little bit further than I, so
Yeah.
you're gonna beat it. And Anthony, you're gonna do your homework
And what?
and you're gonna beat it over the weekend.
I don't know if that's gonna happen. That's a lot.
And hopefully we'll do a spoiler cast on the game and just literally be free to talk about what we
Yeah.
found, story elements, things like that, the ending, maybe explain the ending, how we thought what
That'd be
it was. Yeah, and just have this full-blown conversation about the actual story and things like that, because we can't really talk about it because we don't want to spoil it for you, we don't want to spoil it for Anthony or Peter or myself.
I'll say this though, the game looks beautiful, and like I've played Witcher, and like Witcher looks good. I really loved.
Somebody just blew off some air horns. Ba, 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 ba.
What is that?
A whole day early.
I even got a
game
4K
looks beautiful.
TV.
It's just like, yeah.
I even got a 4K TV just to play it. You know, it's just like it looks gorgeous.
Yeah, I have a 4K TV. I just haven't pulled the trigger on a PS4 Pro yet because I don't
Still
know.
waiting to build that PC.
I'm not building a PC.
Yeah, so on the Pro, it prompts you before you start the game if you want it to be
The best.
performance or resolution. I go with resolution.
I go with performance.
Well, on the
Wow.
Pro,
Yin
it
and yang
doesn't
over here.
matter.
I know.
On the Pro, the performance is going to be just as good on resolution mode.
I have to try that, but even with just the resolution or performance,
Do you have a 4K TV?
I just got one.
Oh.
Just for God of War.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Steve,
I
I'm telling you,
experienced
this
it,
game
man.
is that good.
It's good. Even with just the performance, it still looks good.
Yeah.
So I can't even imagine what it would look like on.
You
On
just gotta
4K,
switch it
Yeah,
on
just
over.
switch it up. Yeah, exactly.
When your next playthrough, you just do.
Yeah,
There you go.
there you
Yeah.
go.
Well, you can
Problem
switch it at
solved.
any time, right?
Give me God of War.
I think so, yeah.
I would
You
hope
can switch
so.
the difficulty at any time.
Yeah.
Well, except for Give Me God of War. That's a mode all on its own.
Really?
Yeah, you can't switch in and out of that.
Yeah, I have to replay with God of War.
Yeah.
I want to see what that's
Do
like.
it on that mode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Stream
stream that.
resolution mode.
Yeah.
Put that on
4K
Twitch
TV.
so we can watch that.
Yeah.
Throw it up on Twitch so we can watch.
All right. We'll
But
see.
I think unless anyone else has anything to say about God of War, I think we're gonna wrap up God of War talk. Yeah, you good?
Ratings are totally deserved.
Yeah,
dude.
we give it the green light. Go ahead and buy it. So Kharl, I want to talk to you a little bit about Fortnite. So you started playing Fortnite, right?
Oh yeah, just I started playing Fortnite.
So this is your first time ever playing Fortnite?
Yeah, I mean I've been watching it for a while now. Like I watch YouTubers, Twitch streamers. They all play. They're really good.
Grizz is,
obviously.
right? Gary's
Ninja.
just
Yeah, exactly. Like,
Yeah.
They're really good, and I'm like, oh, this looks intimidating. But I have it on the PlayStation, on the Xbox. Probably gonna download a PC at some point.
I mean, it's free. So why-
exactly. What the hell not, right? And I played like a couple games last night, and I just got wrecked all the time. It's the hard learning curve, dude.
That's how those games go.
Yeah.
So like I played with like 4
You're
squad.
playing squads of. Did you know these people? Or
No, just a
randos?
bunch of randos. Like they were super nice. No one was like an asshole or anything.
That's good.
Just had like one 12-year-old kid tell me I wasn't good.
Yeah. Well,
But
I
my
mean,
feelings
that,
weren't hurt or
yeah.
anything. Yeah, exactly.
Did you get his name?
damn it, I do suck.
You know what you do? You yell at him, boy!
Yeah, good one. Yeah, but other than that, it was fun. Everyone was super nice. I'm like, hey, first game, can you just tell me what's going on? They were very helpful.
You on PS4?
Yeah, PS4. And at one point, I played one game by myself, and I got wrecked by the first guy the first guy I saw was just like picking at something. I'm like, what are you doing?
Oh, because you can build. That's right, right.
Yeah, he's trying to get stuff. I'm like, you saw me land here. Like, I saw him land there. Like, I was ready for him. I just, like, give him a headshot and it was done, right? And the other guy built a tower, and I'm taking the tower down. Dude flanks me on the left side. I didn't even know it was going to happen. They're so quick. Like, he's just, like, you have to be ready for that kind of stuff.
So
It's
they're just like building so fast that you're not
So quick.
because you're like, oh, I got to take out this dude's tower. So you're taking out the bottom one, and he's building.
He's
something.
already gone. And I'm like, where did he go? And it's especially on the
He
PlayStation.
knocks you on the shoulder and he's like, "Hey."
And like, yeah, exactly. I just have
Shoot
to
ya.
move on my left side. I look over and it's just, I'm done. Shotgun to the
Damn it.
face.
You gotta watch high level Twitch.
I do.
Gameplay.
Like I watch those guys all the time, but like
Tips.
it takes a little while to, especially like 'cause everyone plays on the PC essentially because you can shortcut everything, like floors, stairs, towers, whatever. But on the PlayStation, you have to press O and then you have to press L1
Sub-menu.
or R1 to switch to whatever you want to build.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
So that makes
you
it
gotta
harder
toggle
to
through.
build as fast.
Yeah.
And I mean, obviously, even if I knew how to do that, I wouldn't have. I wouldn't have won like first time playing it.
Yeah,
So
you're not a prodigy. It's fine.
definitely not.
Yeah, as soon
But-
as you start getting shot at, you gotta
I-
turn and build
yeah.
a wall.
Yeah.
between
Exactly.
You
I
and them. Yeah.
freak out a little bit, but no, it's a fun game. To like, I enjoy it. And even when I'm the kind of person like when I lose, I rage if I lose a lot.
Yeah, I played Overwatch with them for a while.
You're
But-
a child. Okay.
But
No,
Wow.
it's just literally we would be playing and I'd be playing and all I hear Kharl, what the fuck?
I have to mute my mic because it's just like.
And it's like,
listen to my
Kharl,
shit
you
here.
ran into the squad of 6 with just one character. What did you think was gonna happen? I
But,
was gonna kill him. I have rockets.
I'm Rambo. I can do anything.
But even with Fortnite, I'm just like, okay, I know why I lost. Like I understand that I'm just not good.
You
It's
know, like this is bullshit.
Yeah, it's not BS. It's just I lost the fight. You know,
you
it's
know?
really fun to play.
I think what's the best thing about Fortnite, and I haven't played PUBG, so I don't necessarily know, is that you die, you can chill and watch other players, or you can just get into another game.
Yeah.
You don't have to wait.
Yeah.
Even if your squad, even if you're rolling with like 4 people and your character dies,
Yeah.
you can just leave that game and go into another one.
Right away.
Yep,
It's
right
like-
away. It's literally what? I mean, with all the player base, it's got to be under 20 seconds.
Under, absolutely. Like,
You're just like get me out of here. Okay, into a game. You found a game. Let's go.
just like that. It's so easy. But for my last match, I did watch the guy who shot me, and he got killed by the guy who won the game. So technically, I got.
You
killed
felt
by
like-
the winner.
yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I didn't
Isn't that how that works though?
So you were the
Because
third best?
Ideally, unless you get killed by the environment, some guy kills you. That dude gets killed by
The
another
enemy of my
dude.
enemy is my
But he
friend.
knew he was
you
the
know?
good. He was a good player. So you
exactly.
gotta, you know.
Exactly.
But if everyone is your enemy, Steve,
Then you have no friends.
just like Atreus, full circle.
Damn only child.
So I wanted to talk to you about PUBG. Is PUBG that same way where you die, you leave the game, and just get right back in?
They're adding, or at least I've seen it on streams. I haven't done it myself. The spectator mode.
Okay.
So you can spectate the people that killed you.
Okay. So you can't if you got killed. Let's say 2 months ago you were
Yeah.
playing the game, you got killed. You couldn't watch the rest of the game. You just got jumped back out into
Yeah.
the main menu.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry, I can
then you-
see
and then
my
you just
watch
queue right
almost
back in.
blinding you a little
But
bit
join
every
up.
time I move
I
it.
haven't noticed.
Okay.
Now,
So-
now you mention it.
I'm gonna put that there. But okay. All right. So I was just wondering if that was a it's good to know that you can get just right back into those types of games.
Yeah, and
Because
it's quick.
yeah, that's great. That's great. I feel like I would I enjoyed playing Fortnite for a night, but I don't see myself getting entrenched by it. Like I don't know if I've missed the craze or if it just never clicked with me, but I've never been interested in playing PUBG. The only reason I played Fortnite was because a few of my friends were like, download it, it's free, let's just play it tonight. And I played it and had fun, but I don't know if I had fun because I was playing with friends or if it's just a single thing. So
Friends, playing with friends is always much better.
Yeah.
Couch co-op is the best way to play.
yeah.
I like watching PUBG, but I could never see myself playing. It's too hardcore, right? It's just
It's-
bullet
it
drop.
It takes too much patience and focus.
Exactly, and, it's
And
just
I don't have those.
I feel like the games might be shorter with Fortnite. Like the
Oh.
games that I watch with PUBG, it's just they.
PUBG is a PC
It's
game.
strategic
By
type.
far.
Exactly.
Much
It's
better
so
on
it's
PC.
more frustrating when you lose after 30 minutes of or.
I remember it's the last two people stranded. I know it shrinks and everything, but it's that standoff between.
Who's going to make the move?
Yeah.
When it ends in a town and somebody, people are across the street just hiding in a closet. And nobody wants to make the first move. And then after a while, once the circle will shrink to absolutely nothing. And then you
So-
have to. And the damage that you take from it is ridiculous. You'll
That's
drop
awesome.
in 3 seconds. So you have to.
Which is
force you
great.
out, yeah.
Because I think I don't think Fortnite does that, does it? Because you get to a certain point, it doesn't close you in.
Oh, it does.
It does?
Yeah.
Okay. I thought it was just a small
No,
area.
I guess as small as possible, and whoever has the most health just wins essentially.
Yeah. It probably doesn't get to that point because you can smash through everything.
Yeah.
Destructible environment. You know?
Which is helpful, yeah.
Yeah.
Obviously, I've never got in there, but I've seen it happen.
I mean, you'll get there. You'll get there one day, Kharl.
Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed.
Get that chicken dinner.
Or that battle royale.
Battle Royale. Victory.
Yeah. Do you want to talk about Witcher 3?
I mean, yeah, sure.
All right.
Let's do it.
Go
I
ahead.
just started playing. Not started playing, but like I've
Picked
had
it back
Witcher.
up.
Like, I actually
How
bought it like
intermittent.
when it came out,
Holy shit.
but I never got around to it. Like games keep coming out. I'm like, let me play this. Let me play that. And Fallout, God of War.
Not too bad. I mean, yeah.
So I've started playing and I'm like going through the story missions, not really doing any more like any. I mean, I am doing side quests, and I like it. It's really good. Combat is like you can't just hack and slash. It's almost kind of like God of War. You know, you can't just.
It's that
will tell
dancing
you-
combat.
I will tell you right now that when I first started playing Witcher 3, I realized I thought that the combat was atrocious.
The controls, it's a PC port, like people explain, is a PC port. Like him controlling Geralt,
yeah.
in like that first like moments, you have to get used to it.
Yeah. So I was playing against like not human enemies. I forget what they're called.
It's the wolves, those wolves. Like,
Some-
be anything.
yeah, it could be
Yeah.
anything.
really good.
And
There's a
I
lot.
was like blocking, and I realized you can't block these things. You have
Yeah.
to dodge these things.
Yeah.
And for I just kept dying and dying and dying, and then I originally I found out that you have to dodge. But I also got to this point where I was fighting one of the wild hunts. Is that
Oh,
that's
yeah.
what they're called? It's
The
like
wild hunt, yeah.
one of the very first things you meet them in a cave somewhere or something.
Yeah.
And I fought one of them, and I died, and I reloaded, and I had like a certain amount of health, and I'm like, I have to go back and find more health, but like you can't leave this one area, so I'm like stuck, and you can't get any more health. I'm like, what the fuck? Like I don't have enough health to beat this guy, and I
Eating everything.
well, and then
It's like
he's trapped in
Skyrim.
the, yeah.
I was just trapped, and even still, it just like I didn't have enough to get through, and I was like, I'm not good enough. Even switching the difficulty, I'm not good enough to do this.
Okay.
Until Gary told me, why don't you just meditate? I'm like,
Oh, yeah.
the
Yeah.
fuck do you mean
was about
just
to say.
meditate?
Just
And
sit
he's
down.
like, you just sit down and you
Take it easy.
regain all your health.
The time goes by.
And I was like,
Yeah.
where was that explained?
1
Like,
hour. Yeah.
Easy mode.
How do you sprint? I mean,
Yeah, all your potions, everything goes back up. Well, you need the materials.
yeah,
Makes
but like
sense.
everything.
You never run out of alcohol to make.
But that's only
No,
on
he's a
like
fucking drunk.
easy or regular, right? Like
Yeah.
if you put it on hard, you can't do all those things.
yeah,
yeah,
it-
like Blood and Broken Bones or Death March is the hardest one.
Okay. Maybe I just
it's
need
a
to
little
start playing
more-
games on hard.
When you meditate or sleep or anything, like, your health won't go back up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
correct. Yeah.
I'm playing
It's like
games the wrong
Fallout
way,
survival
aren't I?
mode.
It sounds
is-
like you
yeah.
are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Normal
Save
isn't
every
really
fucking-
normal. It's just
Yeah.
easy mode now. Huh?
Every turn.
I suppose. Is that a humble brag, Steve?
yes.
Yes. Very enthusiastic. He didn't hear what I said. It's
Didn't hear it at all. I'm too busy manning the machine back here.
That's all right. I appreciate you, man, in all sorts of machines. Fleshlights included.
Whoa, Cox is not here.
Whoa. Let's not start that.
Yeah. So
I'll re-edit
How-
some shit on that one.
how far
Fucking
are
eagle.
you into the game? Because you could talk spoilers. If you haven't played The
yeah.
Witcher and you don't want to know spoilers,
We have
click out.
it's what
But
past a
it's
certain
been
point.
like it's
Yeah.
literally been 3 years since the game
Has it
came
been
out.
3 years?
Came out in like March of
I've had
May
this game for 3 years.
May of 2015. So it's almost
It's been Game of the Year every year since then.
I'm just like messing around with Triss right now.
Oh shit, my girl.
I've been messing around
knows
with
what- he knows
Triss
what's
since
up.
Witcher 1.
Wow.
So are
played
you
them
in
all.
The redhead. Oh, the redhead.
Marigold?
Yeah.
Is that the
Triss
town?
Marigold.
Marigold,
Oh, no,
yeah.
wait.
Marigold.
Is the Novigrad is the
Novigrad,
town you
Novigrad.
first meet her?
Yeah.
And
Yeah, she's in Novigrad. Yeah,
So
she's like running with the gypsies or something.
No, Gypsy's
she's trying to save all the mages.
correct.
Anybody
Yeah.
who's a magic.
Ah,
goes
yes,
there,
the people
'cause they're
that do
just
magic, the gypsies.
You go into
yes.
the
The
source.
gypsies, yeah, trying to pick your.
You'll
last
never get
time-
these.
last thing I remember doing was going to a Skellige with Yennefer. I'm like, I don't want to talk to Yennefer right now. Let me go back to Triss.
Triss,
You know what I
yeah.
mean? Like, Triss is where it's at.
So
have
what
to
you're
make a
saying is you
choice.
like redheads.
You do have to make a
I
choice.
absolutely like.
Cannot do both.
I made that mistake.
It
No,
tricks you
you-
into
I
making-
mean,
trying to
this-
go.
You
for
see what
both.
I just did
I
there?
see what you just did there. I do like the redheads. I'm just
Dude, it's Triss.
it's Triss. You can go on with Triss. You know.
I feel like I tried not like, because in The Witcher you can have just sex with lots of different people. I'm imagining. I only had.
But
sex
you only
in-
want
in-
one.
In
This is
one.
what-
Sure.
Yeah.
Well,
Sure.
Geralt is sterile. He just
So
blows his load all the time.
wow, we were. But I remember trying to court Triss because I'm like, all right, I like Triss better than Yennefer.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try and go for Triss, and I was trying to be a total gentleman, and she was just not having any of it. And I don't know like any of the history between the two of them.
Dude, the
You wanna
lighthouse.
Go deep?
No, I
Wanna
well
go
phrasing.
Let's go deeper.
So I was just like, okay,
all
let
the
me
books.
just try to be cool about this. Let me try to not be a dickhead.
Yeah.
And that
You
blew
were
up
too much
in
of
my
a nice
face.
guy. Yeah.
Yep. And so I was like, well, I guess I just fucked it up with Triss, and
Yeah.
I stopped playing after 58 hours and was like, eh.
I think Triss's scene at the lighthouse is
What a
the
quitter.
better.
Yeah. So if you go through all the books and all the games as well, it changes your perspective on things because there are even references to the books
in the game.
in the games.
Well, yeah, it's because they're all tied in. It's all
Yeah.
lore. It's not like a
Well, the writer of the book says that the games aren't canon.
what?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. It's frustrating.
Okay, yeah, sure.
We could still hold that in the Star Wars universe again.
Sounds a little
You could.
Yeah. But I don't.
Yeah, that's The Witcher.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm still
Just
gonna
get-
play.
you
it.
get in there.
I'm gonna finish it.
So
after
you're in Novigrad.
Go with the Triss. Go that way.
I'm
hanging with Triss.
I went with Yennefer.
yeah, for now. You know,
Well, I did all three.
until I find
You
something
did,
better.
yeah, do it all over again. Yeah. New Game Plus.
And that's
You can't do a
that's
New
it?
Game Plus.
I mean, yeah. I mean, I'm probably gonna go back to it after I be like 100% God of War because I'm definitely gonna platinum it.
Yeah, I think.
yeah.
I hear it's an easy and obtainable platinum.
Yeah.
As long as you're willing to put in the work. Also, for those of you at home and Anthony, do not look at the trophy list because it spoils things. There's not hidden trophies.
It's probably too late for Anthony, but that's all right.
Yeah, probably.
Maybe. It is, but
but-
I do know how the game ends.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Why even fucking
Actually,
play it?
well, the kid who I left.
Well,
I'm
you
just-
know how it
it's, not,
ends?
it's not spoiler. What
No,
happened
I don't
was-
want to know.
No, I want to know what he wants to say now.
You could say it off
It's
air
n-
when I'm not paying attention.
No, it's nothing to do
How
with
do you
the
know how it
ending.
ends? Why would you do
Because
this?
when I handed the kid the copy to borrow the game, he had already watched. Like he wanted it because he didn't own a PS4, so he bought a PS4 to play it
Like
because he had
these
saw.
degenerates over
Here's
here.
my thing, right? If you watch it, there's no point in playing it after.
He still want. He was super excited to play. I was like, you know what, you can borrow my copy of the game if you want, and then he's probably crushed it out in like a day. To be honest with you,
That sounds nuts to me. I'm not doing
check
that.
in, see how he's doing.
But don't look at the trophy list because it will spoil the game for you. And with that, we're going to be done with Under Your Thumb this week. We're going to take a quick break and come right back with the drunken news, so stick around.
swing away,
It was an allegory for
swing away.
the devil. That's really what it was.
And we're back, everybody, with the Tangent Podcast, and we're talking about the drunken news. But first, we have a review, ladies and gentlemen, which you can leave us on iTunes if you're on iTunes. If you're on Android devices,
Fucking cocks.
get out of here with that nonsense. Go
Figure
on
it out.
iTunes, figure it out, and leave us a review. Just like L underscore so wow, okay. L underscore A underscore
Fucked it up.
wit.
You didn't practice that at all.
No, I did not. I am.
Should have highlighted
my
that.
silver tongue has turned to lead. I am loving this podcast. The team at Pixelated Points knows exactly what they're talking about when it comes to every aspect of the game, from the artwork and storyline to technical developments and consoles. Their input is always insightful and comprehensive. Not to mention that the inside jokes and constant banter always make me laugh. I look forward to listening to new episodes every week, as well as diving back into the archives. I highly recommend this podcast. Thank you so much for this wonderful, glowing 5-star
Yeah.
review.
I don't know if all that's true, but
Fantastic.
It sounds like it was a great birthday present.
How much did you pay for that?
holy
Me?
shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't,
Only $5.
don't say
Only $5. But thank you so much for the wonderful review. Thank you so much for actually liking what we do over here. That's
Yeah, no
kind
one
of
else
lifts the
really.
spirits up.
Yeah, it must make you feel all warm and fuzzy now, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So
It
you've
could
been
be-
on so many of the podcasts.
Not just the beer.
It's not just the beer.
you
It's
want to
the
feel real warm and fuzzy? Have one of these guys.
no.
9.5%.
I don't need any of that. I
I've
don't
got
need.
all the warm and fuzzy going on.
I
right
can
now.
feel
tell?
it radiating off.
Do we need the doctor to bring you back down? Or?
All right, so let's get into the drunken news. First piece of news that we have comes from game-debate.com. 15 PUBG hackers arrested and fined $5.1 million. Malicious Trojan horses found in the hacked code. So PUBG Corp has announced that the 15 major suspects involved with the developing
you saw
PUBG hacks have been arrested and fined a total of $1.5 million. It's part of their efforts to weed out the cheating in PUBG, an issue which has reached epidemic proportions in the past 6 months. So I want to quickly bounce it over to you, Pete.
Pete seems-
Have you
yeah,
been
that's what I was
playing
gonna
a
say
whole
about it.
lot of PUBG since the cheating has been rampant?
I got. I was playing with a few friends. We were a 4-man squad, and got killed by cheaters.
Okay.
It was a bizarre scenario where I got downed. I had no idea where, and I'm behind a rock. And my buddy comes over to revive me. He picks me up. He gets killed. I look where the shot's coming from. It's coming through the rock, through me, into him, and he gets completely smoked, dead.
Okay.
I don't know. I'm looking at the guy shooting. It's legitimately coming through the rock. I'm like, okay, watch the death cam when the round's over. And it was. The dude was shooting at the rock going through.
Okay. So
Seems
It's
legit.
happened to me.
Can't really-
It's just not a frame
times,
rate drop.
no, it's just like you can't really help it.
But I killed that guy too.
Did you?
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's
I've-
pretty fucking
Yeah,
awesome.
you can kill hackers, but fuck, is it tough, man? It's just not fair.
Yeah. I mean,
Obviously,
it's cheating.
getting arrested
yeah.
and fine.
So it appears that all 15 of the arrests took place in China and were undertaken by local Chinese authorities, issuing a statement. 15 suspects, including OMG, FL, and then a bunch of emojis that didn't print out here
Just
on our
blocks.
sheets. It's just blocks. It's just blocks. No big deal.
They were Asian. They were
Asian
Chinese,
characters.
Chinese
Yeah,
characters.
99% of the time they're Chinese.
Okay. So they were arrested for developing hack programs.
No, that was the number.
Yeah, I mean, they're all Chinese. It says right here that all 15 took place in China.
That's where all the cheating's going down.
So they're arrested for developing hack programs, hosting marketplaces for hack programs, and brokering transactions. Currently, the suspects have been fined 30 million RNB, which is 5.1 million US dollars.
So close.
I mean, it is the drunken news.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't really care too much about PUBG, but I am really glad to see that these fucking
Cheers.
cheaters, one, are being put to rest, and two, it allows players like my friend Pete over here to actually get back into the game and enjoy himself.
The cheating is what's caused me to slow down playing the game. Yeah, I don't play it as often because of all the cheaters.
It is.
So I've constantly been saying, like, I think Fortnite's popularity has been rampant due to Barstool Sports kind of championing the game, but I'm also now kind of coming to the realization that it's probably because a lot of people are switching over from PUBG to Fortnite because they're like, you know what, this is bullshit. Like, I can't.
I think a lot of that had to do with the performance issues at the beginning too.
Well, I mean, that's mostly on Xbox, though. We're talking.
No, NPC. They both
mean,
had
at this
both
point-
had
Not
performance
optimized,
issues.
I'll tell you that.
But at
That's what
this
I'm saying.
point, it's still playable. It's still like
It's PUBG?
Yeah.
It's playable now. Yeah.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, mid to late last year, PUBG was rampant. It was huge. It was so popular. There were still
Yes.
glitches and bugs, but people
Didn't care,
embraced
yeah.
that. They didn't care about it. It's kind of like overlooked it, like Fallout.
I got pretty slammed. I don't know. Maybe. I don't know.
But it wasn't until it came to the Xbox and then the cheaters were running rampant, that Fortnite really started taking off.
I feel
Which
like
is-
PUBG's shit on console.
Which is odd because I would figure the cheating's on the PC side.
Well,
Yeah,
yeah,
you'd think,
it
right?
is.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Mostly,
saying.
Yeah.
Well, is it crossplay between Xbox and
No way.
PC?
For PUBG?
Yeah.
No, but Fortnite is.
So, okay.
So that way, I'm imagining a lot of people just have just jumped from PUBG to
Because you
Fortnite.
have one of the systems or PC.
Yeah, you
it's-
just like I'm sick of You could play.
Yeah.
You can even play PC versus mobile players.
That's just not fair.
I was about to say there's quite the disadvantage. Oh, and there was a news thing that well, it's not in there, but the Fortnite on mobile made it's $50 million.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Holy shit.
I don't know why you want to play on mobile, but it's like
Well,
I wouldn't
'cause
wanna
you
be
have-
playing
You
on-
have to think like little kids at school playing PUBG.
It's actually
Fortnite.
a shame that it's not on the Switch.
Well, it's it's got to be around the corner.
Yeah, it
That's
probably is.
probably
If it's on
you
mobile, actually, it's already-
think
should already be
the E3
there.
Direct. The E3 Direct starts off with
Rocket League.
you know
fucking-
somebody jumping out of the bus, and then it's boom, Fortnite.
It's gonna be like a Minecraft for it,
Could I plug in my
You could do whatever
my
you
mouse
want.
my mouse and keyboard into my new PS Pro?
Yes, you can do it on Xbox.
That's
you
a
know?
setting, like,
I
actually.
think I feel like my PS Pro is gonna be better than my PC at this point now. I need to upgrade that shit. It's a few years old at this point.
So I don't know. Depends what your PC specs are. I can tell
Yeah.
you.
I think. Yeah, they're.
I'm
they're
gonna
a
say
few
probably
years
not,
old.
but I don't know how old it
they're
is.
they're close, but
How old is it?
it's a few years at the point.
Like 5
two-
few or
It's like 3.
You still might be all right.
Wait, isn't PS4 better than PC though?
Well, the PS4 Pro is.
It's better.
I'm looking at God of War. I'm like, I don't feel like I could run this on my PC.
Really?
With how flawless it is, there are no loading screens.
The 4K probably
no
not.
loading.
Yeah.
well,
If it's that, if your
funny
PC's that
enough,
old,
there
then I don't
are
really
there's
got-
no loading screens, but the game is constantly loading. So like during the cutscenes or during the
You can
scene
hear it thinking, yeah.
where it like pulls out the camera. Those are the cutscenes. Those are the cutscenes, but
But it
also
doesn't even
loading
slow
screens.
down.
Yeah, they do it
there's
so
n-
seamlessly. It's just
It's completely
It is gorgeous. It is gorgeous. Speaking of gorgeous, let's talk about free games. Huh? All right. So if you are a member of Twitch Prime, meaning you have a Twitch account, which you probably do because you're watching us on twitch.tv/pxlpts, and you also have an Amazon Prime account, you can get, 6 free games, and all of them seem
shit.
pretty fucking awesome. So starting May 1st, which was earlier this week, we are bringing you 6 free games to keep forever with May's
Forever.
collection of free games with Prime. Forever. Be sure to
Ever,
grab
ever?
them before they disappear at the end of May. The May's free games are Psychonauts, Cluster Truck, Gone Home, Titan Souls, Hell High, and High Hell, and I Hope. So,
Grab them all
where can you get those games?
This affects me.
on.
So-
Did you not just Twitch.tv?
So, like, what system do you play on?
They're all PC games.
They're all
Oh,
PC
right,
games.
yeah,
So they give you codes, or you link your Steam account or whatever.
no
you,
code, yeah.
You link
your
you link your Prime account to Twitch.
your Twitch.
This maybe I haven't downloaded any of the games. I don't know how it goes down to get the actual download.
You play on Twitch.
Yeah.
You also get a Prime subscription. Just
You
so
need
know.
the Prime
You
subscription.
need the Prime Amazon Prime subscription.
I'm just saying.
You can also subscribe to us if
Yeah,
you
I'm just saying you can use it as a subscription token for whatever you want. You know.
If you're
Amazon
Twitch,
Prime is worth it.
That's what I'm
yeah.
saying.
I mean, it.
Not with the price increase.
The
but
price
maybe.
increase is going to $130 a year, which I mean, I
Still
use.
gonna do it.
Yeah, me
I thought it was
too.
120.
I think it's $130. I think it's $129.99, and that's how they always get you. They
Is
fuck
it?
you because they
It
say
is
$129.99. You're like, oh, that's $120, but it's like, no,
It's 130.
that's actually $130. It's just
It is the exact same
fell for
price
it.
a month that it would
You
be
did.
if you paid monthly. So I switched over to monthly, which is $12.99 a month.
okay. Well,
So I'm paying the exact same price a year now.
I can't tell you how often I
$49.99,
use it.
so
What's that?
paying $49.99.
Yeah, because you got the student thing going, I guess.
Yeah, buddy.
It doesn't look like you're still in school. It's all right.
Hey,
Yeah, what are you trying to blow up his spot, Steve?
Please, you got the.
But if you have Twitch Prime, you should subscribe to our twitch.tv, our Twitch channel at PXLPTS.
Can't
but you
subscribe. You can only follow.
whatever, you know what I meant.
with
Doesn't
Prime
mean what he
tokens?
says. Yeah.
Huh?
You can subscribe to Prime token, no?
YouTube.
You can also
You don't have
subscribe
enough.
to our YouTube channel
Yeah, YouTube, yeah.
at pxlpts.com/YouTube, We're closing in on 100 right now.
That's
We're
so
like
close.
we're real close.
Check out some of our great interviews.
Check out some of our interviews. We're actually reaching out to developers of Super Daryl Deluxe, and we're going to be talking a little bit with
Talked about
them.
it last week.
I
Yeah.
did.
I listened.
He did.
Yep, we're
I'm like
talking-
fucking Cox.
Yeah, that guy. What
Piece
the
of
fuck
shit.
is he doing?
Fucking Cox? What is going on with you, Anthony?
Yeah, wording on that
And,
one.
yeah.
Wording on that one.
Phrasing. Boom. All right, let's move on from Twitch
fleshlight.
Prime. So we've got a shit ton of Nintendo news. So
You can say that on it.
strap in. So, first piece of news that we have comes from Mac Rumors, which is strange. But Nintendo's next president sets mobile gaming priorities. Plans
Put these in the correct order.
game-changing hit to
Talk about the president
surge
first.
businesses. Okay, let's talk about the president first. Let's
That
see.
makes more sense, right?
Yeah.
I guess it would, but they're not in order, so
But I mean,
I guess
No,
I have to
man, it
do
says-
everything around here.
It's page 3.
Yep. There's literally no piece of news that says.
it talks about the president. I'm pretty sure.
Oh, I mean, there's
No, that
this
was
one,
last
and
week.
then
That wasn't just a joke that Kharl had.
That was last week,
yeah,
actually.
that's all right.
Was it?
Yeah.
It's all right.
That was last week.
We talked about the new president. Are you fucking sure?
That was
Say
last
it,
week.
Kharl.
I just want to put it in
So
there
tempted
today.
right now.
Unless you resubmitted it. But that was definitely last
I'm not
week.
gonna lie to you, it's not in here.
Oh my god!
It's not in here.
Kharl's looking for a joke now.
All right, go on.
Thank you. Can I go ahead, God Mike? Am I allowed to? Do I have your permission to read my news?
If you can.
Not well. Nintendo's next president, Satoru Furukawa,
See, I would have remembered that from last week.
No, it was
Yep.
definitely last
will
week.
make
I think.
smartphone gaming a priority when he takes the helm of the company this June. In an interview with Nikkei, Furukawa said that he envisions a future where a Nintendo smartphone gaming arm can be a $910 million business. In fiscal 2017, the segment included mobile games grossing 39.3 billion yen, which is about 1/3, roughly, of their.
The 900.
Well, they want 100 billion yen, so they almost made 40 billion yen. So it's almost about 40%.
Yeah.
So to do this, he plans to increase the output of smartphone gaming apps for iOS and Android devices, as well as launching a singular app that surges in popularity. Outgoing President Kimishima referenced Pokemon Go as an inspiration for this plan. Go was a collaboration between developer Niantic and the Pokemon Company, which Nintendo has a joint investment in. Quote, "From what I can see, smartphone games are the ones we want to expand the most," end quote. He also goes on to say that the idea that something will emerge that transforms into something big in the same manner as game consoles is a defining motive of Nintendo's business.
I'm not a fan.
I don't like this piece of news either.
No, I think
Well,
it's
I think it's well written, and I think the
Fire the
news
press.
article is fine. I don't like
the content.
the content. I don't
its
like what this
character.
new. Yeah,
The
I don't like
business
the
plan of the
president's new idea of
Mobile
focusing
games.
on mobile games. Which makes me just think that they picked the wrong person to run the company.
I don't know. I did not. I missed the. Talk
I'm kinda
last
happy
week
with the
about the
president we
president,
got now.
but
Wow.
I don't
Who's
like.
drunk in news?
Well, the problem is, it's like, oh, let's expand the games, or make more games. But what they really need to be doing is actually making better games for the mobile, and maybe they'd actually hit. If Animal Crossing didn't suck, and more people were playing Pokemon Go, or they didn't fuck up the Pokemon Go.
A lot of people are still playing Pokemon Go.
They're playing it. They're definitely
they
playing
lost
it,
a lot.
but more people could be playing it.
Yeah, I guess. But I mean,
And then
Pokemon
Super
Go
Mario
is a
Run.
huge.
It was huge.
Yeah.
Pokemon Go is
Blew up.
still really large. Like
It's
a lot of
large.
people
I'm
are
not
still
denying
playing
it. But they should
dropped off
focus on
pretty-
making better games on the mobile.
Mongo.
But I don't even
also
want it.
think-
I don't give a
also
fuck.
think that there's only so much, mobile games aren't really all that great. There's
Well, if it-
very few and far between. There's addicting games, but as far as the quality.
Brian
that
Shitter
Steve-
games that you're looking for.
I love Brian Shitter games. Don't get me.
If it's an original idea,
Right
though.
now,
I'm not
let me
sassing you.
I'm gonna fucking sass you real hard right now.
Why?
Wow.
So I'm playing a few different mobile games. I'm playing Peak, which is like a brain performance type of game where it like judges how you play. So it's 4 little like mini games, and you play these games, and it kind of just calculates your brain score, like how well you focus, how
Like an
well your
IQ?
mental agility is, how your memory is, things like that. So I'm playing that a lot. But also Tia, my wife, got me hooked on this game called Yellow. And it's 50 different puzzles.
Shitty song.
Do
And
they
you-
shine for you?
No. I don't look at the stars. I don't wonder how they shine for me. But the game Yellow is great. It's all 50 different puzzles, and then when you beat it, it's like, hey, go play my game Red, and then there's 50 more fucking puzzles. Those 2 games are great.
And then blue.
I just
I-
said
And then we're back to Pokemon.
Yeah.
But I think what I'm trying to get at is that there's not that kind of quality that Nintendo is known for in the mobile market.
Well, Nintendo doesn't really actually make
Mobile.
their mobile games.
No, that's not what I'm saying. You're looking for a Nintendo quality product on mobile. That's not going to happen.
Right.
That's what
I
I'm
agree.
saying.
why wouldn't that happen?
Because that's not how mobile games operate.
What's wrong with PUBG Mobile?
I don't think there's anything wrong with PUBG or Fortnite mobile.
I don't necessarily get what you're saying. I mean, I know Nintendo will never do it. but-
Okay, so think of a Nintendo
But-
game.
okay.
What just popped in your head?
I didn't think of it.
Zelda.
I don't know. Mario would be one.
Okay, let's just say Super Mario Brothers 3. Is there a single game on mobile that is even close to that quality of game?
Would you say Super
Super
Brothers
Mario
3? No.
Run.
That's what I'm saying. So the polish and quality of a Nintendo title just doesn't translate to mobile because mobile is always dumbed down. It just doesn't play as well as the quality and the polish of a Nintendo product. So I'm thinking...
I think there's plenty of very polished mobile games that have done really well.
Would you say Super Mario Run is polished?
Like I think like Angry Birds
You
is
think
like
Angry Birds is a
polish.
well-designed game.
oh yeah.
I think you could put Mario
Plants
Kart
vs.
on
Zombies.
The original Plants vs Zombies was I think.
I guess.
You know.
It's pretty
I mean it
simple.
depends how I mean I don't know
I just
depends
think
what you're doing.
all of these things are just mindless, same thing over and over again type of thing.
Yeah, but I mean Nintendo's made games like that. My problem is they shouldn't. It's the farming it out to the third party that doesn't help it.
Well, they don't have the resources to. They don't
Yeah,
have the
that's
internal.
I agree.
teams to
That's
do
an
that.
issue.
So, but more piece of news or more news on Nintendo and the changing development over there. Game Informer reports Nintendo is changing development structure to have executive board greenlight games. So, in an interview, the same interview, I'm sure, with the new incoming Nintendo CEO, Furukawa, explains that he's going to be changing things up a bit for Nintendo's infrastructure. One of the major changes that is underway is that video games are given the go-ahead within Nintendo. While the CEO did not detail how it currently works, the new process is Nintendo's head is changing it so the executive board looks at game ideas and makes decisions on whether it makes sense to proceed. Furukawa explained that he is going to make the final decision on how the game benefits the company. The board will consist of 5 people, Furukawa included, consisting of developers and Nintendo executives. It is likely that Koizuma, the director of Super Mario Galaxy and an architect of the Switch, is one of the 5 considering his recent promotion to Nintendo's executive board of directors. Again, I don't like that he's going to be the be-all,
Final
end-all.
decision, yeah.
He's going to be the final decision of if it makes sense for the company, which I don't think that really translates checks and balances. It feels more of just like what I
Maybe-
say goes.
I don't think it's any different than past presidents.
Is that again?
They always are the final arbiter.
I'm speaking naively, which is not a word, but I'm speaking
Naively?
I'm speaking out of my ass because I don't necessarily know how it currently runs.
Either
But-
do I, but I don't. My impression, especially in the late, I think Iwata was I mean, he would have the final say. Period. Anyway, I always got that. I mean,
Maybe I don't know. I
It's
just think
tough
that
to
I
say.
think right now, I mean, it makes sense that Kimishima is moving away because this has always been a temporary role until
Yeah, but
they
I
found
liked
the
him.
next guy. Well,
Correct.
again, and I liked him too.
But he was too old.
Nah,
Again,
so
he's
you're never
he's
too old.
70.
Well, he's not. Was he 70?
what?
He's turning 70.
Yeah, who cares?
Speaking of 70, happy
Judges.
birthday, Dad. My dad just turned 70 today.
Holy shit.
Oh.
He's still operating. Why can't this guy run the company Nintendo?
Well, he wants to retire. My dad did actually.
Greg
funny-
should run it.
Funny enough, my dad is his last day of work is today. He's retiring today, and it's his birthday. So
Congratulations, then.
congratulations,
birthday.
Dad. Happy birthday and
Impressive.
happy retirement.
There you go.
Let's go do some drinking.
Pour one out for Dad.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
That was
70 years worth.
Yeah.
Pour one out.
I don't know. This new president's intriguing because he was more of a marketing guy or something, wasn't he?
Last I heard, he
was he
he
did?
grew himself up kind of like Iwata did, where he started off in games and moved himself all the way up.
We talked about this last week.
Do not remember that whatsoever. But that's all right. I'll
maybe-
go back and listen.
Maybe lay off the booze for a little while.
I might have to.
Take it easy on the doctor. I don't know.
Doctor only helps people.
The doctor
Yeah,
does
he really
help
helps.
people. Next piece of news that we have
Maybe I didn't have
comes
enough.
from Nintendo Life. The Nintendo 3DS will keep being sold unless Switch becomes a, quote, one-person system. I don't know what that means, but let's read into it. Nintendo has released a investor Q&A following the company's recent financial result briefing, detailing its stance on the current plans for the Nintendo Switch and the 3DS consoles. Both Kimishima and the current president and Furukawa, the one that will be taking over next month, were present to answer questions. The hottest topic being the newly announced Dragalia Lost for mobile platforms, which is the newest mobile game. Looks all right. Probably won't pick it up,
No.
but looks all right.
I got burned by Animal Crossing. I'm done with this.
Firstly, Kimishima reiterated that the company's intention to keep selling consoles into the next year and beyond. Quote, the 3DS has an ample software lineup at a price point that makes the system affordable, especially for parents looking to buy for their kids. We expect that the demand will continue during the fiscal year as well, so we will continue to sell the product, end quote. He then went on to suggest that the Switch sales could have an effect on the 3DS's longevity if consumers start to purchase a Switch console for each member of their family instead of one per household. Just like how many of the 3DS has, the situation may change. Quote, given that the Nintendo Switch is a home gaming system that can be taken on the go, this situation may change if it grows from being a one per household system to a one per person system. But the price of the Nintendo Switch is not something with which most parents would buy a system for every one of their children in a short period of time. Moving forward, we will work with a certain
Perfect.
okay. What kinds of people will play at which price points, and as long as there is such a
certain
demand,
type of person.
nope.
What does it say?
You can read it afterwards.
All right.
We will continue to
very
sell the
intrigued now.
Nintendo Switch, Nintendo 3DS system. I see that the product coexisting with the 3DS and the Nintendo Switch at this point in time. Maybe that's lost in translation, or maybe I'm just really drunk. Either
Could
way,
be a little of both.
could be a little bit of both. I think at this point, with the 3DS's install base, it does make sense for them financially to be continuing to make these games.
There's no
Yeah.
rival within the 3DS. I mean,
I think what will happen is if they put out a revision of the Switch and they can drop the price of the original, they could probably hit that one per person thing. You just got to get it down to the right price. Or even they can put a price drop on the Switch and get it to a little, once it gets down to that
200 mark.
200 mark-ish, they'd be good to go. But then I see lots of pictures of that 2DS XL. It's pretty sleek. It's got that more, it's rounded, it's got the clamshell. I like it.
The 2DS XL, it is kind of nice. I have a friend at work that has the Pokemon one.
Yeah.
The Pokeball
Every
one.
time I see it in a photo,
You're
I'm like,
hey,
it looks really slick.
How much does the 3DS go for?
Oh, that is a good question. What type of 3DS?
yeah.
The new 3DS XL?
Yeah.
I think it's $179.99,
Yeah, maybe. Something like that.
which is still expensive for that system. That should be dropped down.
is
If they started selling it at
The,
$100,
or the 2DS XL?
Well, it's 129, like 99.
Because that's the
Well,
that's the
no.
flagship model now.
the new 2DS XL
Yeah.
That one is still, I think, those are 150. Those are 150.
Those are the ones you
across
want to
board.
buy.
The 3DS XLs,
Which
the
they
new
still sell.
3DS XLs are roughly 200. I think they're 180 to 200.
Yeah.
I think they're still 179.
Would,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty positive they are. But last piece of news that we have comes from the PlayStation blog. God of War sells over 3.1 million units in 3 days, becomes the fastest selling PS4 exclusive. Yeah. So, one of PlayStation's most iconic series is reaching new heights this week. Thanks to all of you and us and their fans, God of War has become the fastest selling PS4 exclusive with more than 3.1 million units sold globally in the first 3 days, which is April 20th to the 22nd. So, game's a fucking huge success. I guess it does
exclusive.
It makes more sense to me that this game is selling better than something like Horizon. I'm trying to think of like
Horizon
another.
still sold. It didn't do it in that quickly.
Well, that's exactly what I'm saying. Yeah,
but
Horizon did sell extremely well, like you were saying. But what I'm trying to get at is, I think God of War has the name behind it. You know what I mean? So
the original IP was
when
good.
Halo 6 inevitably gets announced, right? That game is going to sell. Anyone that has an Xbox is going to buy that game.
That's all they got.
That's all. Yeah. But let's be honest. Right now, that's all anybody is talking about on PS4 is God of War.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that having that big name and an established franchise behind you, and it being like a reboot and all of the positive things, it just perpetuated, and everyone was just like, I need to fucking pick this game up. Like Pete didn't have a PS4 before April 20th, and he just went out,
Bought one, holy shit.
bought the PS4
the bundle.
It was
Yeah.
quite an adventure.
Yeah. So now he has a PS4, and now he has a bunch of games that he can play and catch up on, which is pretty.
All the
fucking
exclusive, like Spider-Man later on.
sweet. Spider-Man later on, he'll be able to play the Uncharted games if
Spider-Man
he wants.
does
He
look
can
good.
play
Yeah.
Horizon.
I talked with Dano
Mm-hmm.
today, and he said the next thing I should play is Uncharted 4.
Yeah, I would probably start with.
Number 1.
I would.
No.
Definitely number 2.
No.
I would play 2 and 3. I would skip 1.
16%
definitely
say
skip one.
otherwise.
Skip one.
Yeah, you can absolutely skip 1.
I would play.
think
You
you
can't
can.
skip the beginning.
I would play 2, 3,
Those controls.
4, and then if you're still like, I need to play more Uncharted, go back to 1.
What order did I do it? Did I do 3, 2?
I did 2, 3.
No, you quit. You quit one, I think.
I quit 1 after I played 2 and 3. I don't know which.
correct.
I feel like I played 3,
Correct.
2.
I bought Uncharted 2, and I didn't own a PlayStation. I was playing it on a friend's. I bought Uncharted 2, and didn't have a PS3 at the time. Played it on a friend's, and then bought Uncharted 1, and got
Big
it.
mistake.
One
well,
started on 3.
Yeah. So Uncharted 1 was a launch
Big
title,
launch title, yeah.
for the PS3,
Oh,
and 2.
launch titles.
Yeah.
I kind of remember the
Yeah.
ads for that.
Yeah.
Correct.
Do you remember the ads for Uncharted 2? It was probably still the best ad to this day, where it was like one of the, it was this dumb,
feel like I remember
it was
like a
supposed to be
cliff.
like a president, right? And the president is talking, and he's like, oh, PlayStation 3 is the best place to play these games. And he's like this giant cheese ball or whatever. And so it's like players write into PlayStation. It's like, dear PlayStation, I've been playing Uncharted 2, and my girlfriend thinks it's a movie. And
yeah.
the guy's like, oh, don't worry about that, Jason. With those graphics and the great cutscenes, everyone thinks it's a movie. And it cuts back to Jason, and he's like, it's been 3 nights. And it cuts back to the CEO, and he's just like, smiles and just makes this shit-eating grin. I mean, those ads were just fucking tremendous. I'll see if I can edit it into the video.
At the end of this?
Yeah, at the end of this. It's pretty fucking.
I do remember.
I
that,
don't
though.
remember that one.
I remember.
I remember
that.
the Uncharted 1 ads, I think.
It just shows.
You're probably
Uncharted
thinking
1.
of 2, where
No,
he's
no.
like hanging off of cliffs and
cliff.
things like that.
I do remember hanging off the cliffs, but no, I remember. Wasn't the boat scene was in the Uncharted 1 ad? The beginning.
I couldn't tell you.
Because it wasn't memorable.
I remember them hyping the fucking shit out of it.
I mean, 1 is really
When it
good
launched.
in terms of video games, just not as good as the rest of the Uncharted series. So
I mean, that's debatable.
Well,
One
you know
was
it's not
pretty-
debatable?
One was pretty shitty.
The end of this
60%.
podcast. Thank you, everybody, so much for watching for another great episode of the Tangent Podcast. If you guys like what you saw and like what you hear, please go over to iTunes and leave us a review, or go over to pxlpts.com/YouTube and subscribe to our YouTube channel there. If you're on Twitch, go over to twitch.tv/pxlpts and follow us on Twitch. That would be tremendous. Get our numbers up as well. If you guys like what you see, I'm on Twitter, and the site is on Twitter, and the podcast is on Twitter. So you can follow us at tangent_podcast, or you can follow us on Instagram at tangent podcast, all one word. But back to Twitter, you can go at pxlpts, or myself, I am at it's a me BT. Uncle Muscles, you are.
At Stonemus, STONAMUS.
There you go. Anthony, you are.
At Margin Erebus.
God Mike back there.
At Steven_Sal.
And Kharl, don't feel
Yeah.
like you have to, but if you want to plug
Promote
yourself,
yourself,
if
yeah.
you want to promote yourself and get yourself out into the ether,
The contender.
Why not? At Kharl92.
Kharl92. How do you spell that, Kharl?
KHARL 92.
There you go. Perfect.
So basic.
It's easy. It's easy. It's easy, and it's not. It's a me BT. I've got a Z, an M, a lot of
people out
letters.
here.
Yeah, confusing people.
Carl's like a bad guy from Die Hard.
And with that,
Holy shit.
thank you guys so much for watching another great episode of the Tangent Podcast. We'll catch you guys next week
On the tangents.
Podcast.
on the Tangent Podcast.